Angels, it's Hailey Reese and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited that you are here and I hope that you are having an absolutely fantastic morning, afternoon, or night, whatever it is for you when this video finally reaches you. You guys, I have been wanting to share this recent experience, kind of what's been going on in my life and in my home with the haunting and just everything in general for the past 2 weeks. But I ended up under the weather and I had no voice for approximately 1 week. Like when I would try to speak, it was atrocious. So I am here now and I am so excited to share this experience with you guys and ask your thoughts and opinions, because I'm constantly asked by you guys if I've had any updates here in my house, the haunting of my house, and kind of everything that's been going on since we moved in. And it's weird. It's like things will happen, multiple things back to back, and then for like a few weeks or a few months, it's like radio static in here, there's nothing crazy going on, and then things pick back up again. But this time, things have gotten even stranger, so I'm so curious to hear what you guys think, and I hope that you guys enjoy this personal experience. It appears the haunting is back. Before we get into today's video though, I am so excited to once again share today's video sponsor with you guys, which is Blackout Bingo. As I just mentioned, I spent like an entire week unable to talk to anyone, to do anything. I just had to like rest my voice and my body, and I was playing Blackout Bingo non-stop. I am obsessed. Blackout Bingo is a super fun mobile game where you can make money while playing bingo. Now, I have loved playing bingo ever since I was a little girl, and I just absolutely love that now I don't have to actually go anywhere to play bingo. I can play bingo from the comfort of my own home while I'm relaxing or trying to get better, or basically anytime, any place. With Blackout Bingo, you and your competitor get the exact same bingo card, but the numbers start coming faster and faster, so winning is solely based on how quickly you can react, which is so much fun. Blackout Bingo is also owned by Skills, and something I really love about Skills is that they have amazing support, but they also pride themselves on matching players based on their skill level. So you'll be matched with players who are on the same level as you, making it all the more fair. So as I mentioned, with Blackout Bingo, you can win money and you can cash out at any time, which is awesome. But I do want to mention that you can also play completely for free head-to-head games if you should choose to do so. I honestly play this game so much, and I love that you guys have the chance to potentially get matched up with me. So definitely let me know what you guys think of Blackout Bingo and if you're playing, so that hopefully we can get matched together and play it together. But I really think that you guys will absolutely love Blackout Bingo. Getting started is as easy as clicking the link that I have at the very top of my description. And if you guys use my code Reese, you will get an extra $5 in free cash to play on the app once you make your first deposit. So make sure that you guys click the link down in my description box and use my code Reese. And thank you so much to Blackout Bingo for being my favorite mobile game right now and also sponsoring today's video. But without further ado, let's get into this experience, because like I said, I'm so curious to hear what you guys think. Okay, so I've kind of been like going through my mind as to where exactly I want to start with this, because I realize now, looking back, this was a series of strange things that were slowly happening and accumulating that I wasn't necessarily noticing in the moment until things really took a crazy turn. So kind of like backtracking here for a second. I have told you guys so many times here on my channel that the more that I dig into the paranormal, different hauntings, and things of that nature for my content, or, you know, going out on investigations and whatnot, the stranger things that begin to occur in my life. So ever since I was a little girl, as you guys know, I have had a ton of paranormal experiences. Growing up in my haunted house, just even with the way that my family dynamic has been, we have had so many paranormal experiences. And it wasn't until I started my YouTube channel and I started diving into all of these experiences again and all the different hauntings across the world, haunted dolls, etc., that things would like really pick up again. I've had so many people say to me, like, how is it that you and your family constantly have hauntings? How is it that you constantly have these strange experiences happening to you? And I really just accumulated to what you put out, you're attracting and getting back. We are vibrational beings. Our vibration attracts like-minded vibrations, and therefore, not always for the worst, but when I am constantly working in this world, I'm attracting more to do with this world, if that makes sense. Like the more investigations I go on, the more that I look into things, the more that these types of things are either finding me or also I'm more aware to them. And over the past year, ever since my grandma passed away, I've been really trying to like get back on my feet, get back into the content grind, and get back into just doing what I love, which is creating for you guys and going out on investigations and just tapping into this part of myself that just feels the most alive when I'm creating and when I'm hanging out with you guys. And so the past year, I have definitely produced and created the least amount of content, I think, ever since I started my channel. Actually, I'm 99% sure. So recently, I've been really trying to just get back on track, feel like myself again, create again, and it's been feeling good. I feel like I'm finally in this place where I want to create and make Grams proud and just enjoy what I love to do again. And so with this comes more like content planning and researching different haunted locations and digging deeper into different hauntings. This is all relevant. I'm sorry if it seems like I'm rambling. Sometimes I feel like I'm just rambling and you guys are like, get to the point. Don't worry, I'll get to the point. So a couple of weeks ago, I started noticing that I was feeling almost as though there was always something in my peripheral vision. Like I can't even explain exactly what it was. It's not like I specifically saw like a shadow or a person or anything of that sort. It was just more so I kept thinking like someone had walked in the room and was next to me and I'd look and no one was there. Or like someone had walked up behind me, or even like in the grocery store. I remember one specific time a few weeks ago, I was like getting a couple of groceries off of the shelf and I felt like I was in someone's way. So I actually said out loud like, oh, I'm sorry. And I turned around to move out of the way for this person that I felt right here. But when I turned, there was nobody there. And so I was taking note of this, but I also have been tapping more into my spiritual side. So I even thought like, oh, maybe I'm sensing like my grams around or my angels and guides around. Like maybe the more that I'm tapping back into this, the more that I'm more aware of like spiritual things and energies around me. Didn't think much of it. Flash forward to one specific night 2 weeks ago. I remember I woke up in the middle of the night and I felt like there was someone standing in the room. I actually thought like maybe Tyler had gotten up or somebody was just in the room, but I wasn't afraid per se. And when I opened up my eyes and I looked across the room, this like figure that I saw, I couldn't quite make it out. It's almost like when you wake up and you like have a coat hanger that looks like a person and then your eyes are like trying to make it out and you realize it's a coat hanger. I almost felt like that, but it wasn't a coat hanger. And I was staring out into the room and it was almost like there was a fog or like a smoke or a mist around it. And as like my eyes came to, I realized there was nothing there. Once again, I went back to sleep. The following night, I didn't wake up to anybody in the room or feeling anything, but I do remember in the middle of the night, I thought that I had smelled smoke. And the smell of smoke almost felt like a candle was still burning. And I almost, due to my anxiety surrounding things of this nature, got up to go and check. But the more that I came to awareness, that smell of smoke faded. Like the smell of smoke was totally gone. And one thing that I want to note is that I always have a candle burning on the kitchen island downstairs. But obviously when I go to bed or I'm leaving the house, I like triple, quadruple check to make sure that the candle's off. It's actually a huge part of my anxiety and OCD is making sure that candles are off, the oven is off, my straightener and curler's unplugged. I'll be halfway somewhere and turn back around to like make sure that I've unplugged things. I'm like that crazy about making sure that things are unplugged and candles are put out. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'm just dreaming. That was super strange. We go back to sleep and around 7 a.m., wake up to the most blood-curdling sound of the fire alarm. And the fire alarm is going, fire, between like, obviously the alarm going off. Well, my dogs start freaking out. We jump out of bed because that's a horrible sound to wake up to. I'm suddenly remembering that I thought I had smelt smoke a few hours prior. So we're thinking, oh my God, we left the candle on. So we both go flying down the stairs, like jumping over multiple steps, running down the stairs, looking around. There's no smoke. The candle's out. The oven's off. There's nothing. Tyler goes running down to the basement. Nothing in the basement. I'm fanning the smoke detector, even though there's no smoke that I can visibly see, opening up all the windows, and then it goes off. We're like, okay, that was really, really weird. So now we're a little bit shook, trying to figure out what it could be. Everything's going through our minds. We're like, okay, was there any smoke of any sorts? No smoke of any sorts. Then we're looking at the carbon monoxide detector, which our smoke detectors will detect carbon monoxide as well, but we have a separate one plugged into the wall that would detect it as well, and that was showing 0. There was none of that. So then we're like racking our brains of any possible thing this could be, and all of a sudden it goes off again. So now it's going off again. So we're there fanning it again, even though there's no visible smoke or anything of the sorts. Opening up more windows. My heart's racing. I'm like, what's happening? And my dogs hate the sound, so it's like going crazy. And for those of you who at this point in the story are like, hey, this just sounds like a faulty smoke detector, this is just the beginning. Hear me out. So we're like doing like the movements to get the smoke detector to stop. Stops again. We're like, what the hell is happening? So we're sitting there. I'm on the phone with my mom. I'm like, Mom, like, what do I do? Look at me, 26 years old. Like, Mom, my smoke detector's going off. What do I do? But like, seriously, I couldn't think of what to do. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, is something seriously wrong? My brain's going a million places. It's 7 a.m. And so all of a sudden it goes off a 3rd time. And now we're just irritated because now we're like, okay, we've assessed the house to our knowledge. There's no fire. There's no emergency. Why is it doing this? Clearly it's faulty. So like we're fanning it again, even though there's no smoke, because like you're helpless. What else are you going to do? And so we're fanning it again. Nothing. Okay, fine. So it stops and it doesn't go off again for a while. So we're searching everything. One of the things that it said was, oh, it's faulty, it's dying. Our smoke detector isn't running off of batteries, so it's not like the batteries are dying. So one option is, and still remains, that it could be one of them is faulty or whatever. So that was one of the things. Dust in the smoke detector was another thing we read. And I think besides the obvious that we already had searched for, those were like the 2 main things that it could have been. But it took me a little bit to calm down because waking up thinking that your house is on fire is not a good feeling. And so I was like, okay, we'll just assess the situation. Maybe there's an issue with one of the smoke detectors. So I'm talking with Lana a little bit later that day, and I'm telling her the situation, and she said she felt, oh, by the way, I should preface, Lana is my friend who's an evidential medium, and she told me that she felt as though it was spirit tampering with it. And I was like, really? That's like what you're sensing? And she's like, yeah, that's what I'm being told. It's spirit. And then suddenly it hit me that the night before I had seen a figure that almost looked smoky around it in my room. And then that night I had smelled almost like fire. When I say I smelled fire, it was like lingering fire, like as if a candle was burning. It wasn't fire as in like a blazing fire. So I was like, oh, that's weird. Like, why would they do that? And she's like, spirit can be pesky sometimes, whatever. So I ended up reaching out to a bunch of people. They were like, I can't see what that could have been. Could have just been fluke. Just monitor it. If you have more issues, whatever. Everything seemed to be working fine with the smoke detectors. So we go on. A week goes by. Absolutely nothing happens. So like it went off the 3 times, and then for a week, it didn't even go off 1 time. So then a week later, we're sitting there, and I literally look over to Tyler, and I'm like, maybe it was like spirit activity, because I feel like if it was faulty, it wouldn't just be like a 1-time 3 back-to-back and then just stop. Like, who knows, right? And he was like, yeah, like I wonder if it would be. And right as we're having this conversation, the smoke detector goes off again. Like I can't even make this up. Like it's so ridiculous, and it's the worst sound ever. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like right when we're talking about this, it's doing it again. So now we're doing the exact same motions, fanning it out, trying to figure it out. And this time it was one and done. It just went off that 1 time. So this happens, and we're like, okay, it didn't go off for an entire week. We didn't speak about it for an entire week. And then the moment that we're talking about the fact that it could be spirit activity, it goes off 1 time and then just stops. So I was like, that's really freaking strange. So then flash forward, then we both started waking up and feeling like there was either like smoke looking like it was filling the room, or a shadowy, like smoky-ish figure across the room, which was super strange. So the next day, I ended up telling Tyler, I think I'm gonna make a video on this because I'd love to know people's advice, not only just if this is spirit activity, but just in general, because everyone I've spoken to is like, oh, they seem to be working fine. There's no reason for this. I don't know. So I am curious in general. But I ended up waking up this one morning super early, and I told Tyler, I'm like, I think I'm gonna make a video on this just to like see what their opinions are. You know, it's been a while since I've just chit-chatted and shared things that are going on. And right when I finished saying I was gonna make a video on it, the freaking fire alarm goes off again, like right that moment. And that's what's so weird about this, is the impeccable timing of it all. Like that's why my brain is like, this is just freaky. Isn't the fact that the fire alarm's going off. I know that we're human and things are faulty and electronics can fail and things can happen. I am well aware of that. And I'm not sitting here saying for certain that there's a spirit tampering with my fire alarm. It's just the timing of it that makes it so odd, and then the weird things like around it. And so I ended up saying out loud, I was like, look, if there's a spirit here that's tampering with this, that wants to make its presence known, your presence is known. If you are of love and light, you are more than welcome to stay. Please stop tampering with my smoke detector. Like, it's really obnoxious. My dogs don't like it. If it's you, I probably sound crazy saying this, but I'm like, if it's you, just leave the smoke detector alone. And knock on freaking wood, it hasn't happened since. But with that being said, this has been 2 weeks in the making, and there could for sure be more incidents, and I may need to have them replaced altogether, which is just a little bit inconvenient because everything else about them, they've been tested, is working perfectly fine. I honestly feel like because I've been so focused on my spiritual practices, I am tapping into the other side more. So I may just be much more aware of, you know, energies around. And I think that's so cool. And I'm very curious to see where this is gonna go. But I literally even asked Tyler, I'm like, do you think I'm reaching here? Like, do you feel like the energy is changing? Do you feel like you're waking up at different times? Both of our dreams have been very unusual, like very unusual. And a lot of times they're tying in together as if we're experiencing the same thing while we're dreaming. And both of us have had really disrupted sleep patterns recently. Like we've been waking up to different noises, different feelings of like energy in the room. It's just odd, but I really feel like whatever's happening here is not connected to like the original haunted stuff that we had going on. And when Lana initially came to my house, she said that my house is frequently visited by spirits, but I don't have any that are living here. So I'm curious to know what you guys think. I will not be offended if you write in the comment section you're reaching. It's your smoke detector. I know that you can't feel the feelings that I've been feeling or see the things that I've been seeing and experiencing. And you know what? It totally could be a fluky smoke detector. I just find, like I mentioned, the timing to be very strange. Like, I don't know. I find it very odd, but I definitely am open to all opinions and all thoughts, and I will certainly keep you guys posted. I remember when I started my channel, one of my favorite things to do would just be to come on here and share my experiences, no matter how big or small, and just chat with you guys. And I feel like over the years, as like criticism came in or people got, there were more opinions on my content, I kind of shied away from just sitting down and filming a freaking video of what's on my heart and what I've been experiencing, and it just feels good to do this. So if you guys just want more videos of me just hanging out, sharing spooky experiences, bringing you guys to some haunted locations, and just enjoying life with me, definitely let me know that as well, because I've missed you guys so much, and I've missed just this personal vibe on my channel as well. And that doesn't mean there won't be high production videos and sit down cases and whatnot, because I love that as well. But every once in a while, I just want to chat with my family on here because we believe in the unbelievable. And I just love you guys. But that is a little update on what's kind of been going on here over the past few weeks. Definitely strange. Even Lana has said that there is definitely spirit activity happening in my house, so I don't feel so crazy. But I am curious to know your guys' thoughts and opinions, and that is it for today's video. Once again, I would absolutely love to thank Blackout Bingo for sponsoring this video. I absolutely, truly, wholeheartedly, sponsorship aside, love Blackout Bingo, and I think that you guys will too. So if you guys would like to get started with Blackout Bingo, make sure to click the link at the very top of my description, and make sure to use my code Reese to get an extra $5 in cash to play on the app when you make your first deposit. So thank you so much to Blackout Bingo. If you guys are new to my channel or you are just not yet subscribed, but you do enjoy my content, I would seriously love it if you would click that subscribe button, join the family. I have so much content planned, and I'm just back, guys. I just feel ready to just be here all the time and just create for you guys. So I hope that you guys are just as excited as I am. And remember, my loves, do all things with kindness. And until next time, I love you.